How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm covering another rumor for you guys because there's been a few that's been popping up in recent time. Actually, there was one yesterday that I'm going to cover probably later today. If you guys want me to cover another rumor later today, I'll cover that one. But there's been kind of a newer rumor and a very old one that I'm going to cover in this video from around October, which I thought we'd cover and go through. And I know it's Christmas today or whatever. I don't really celebrate it, so I'm basically doing nothing today. I'm just sitting around, just drinking some iced tea and just having a chill time. That's all I'm doing, right? So I just thought I'd cover this for you guys. Have a good time, and hey, if you do celebrate Christmas, I mean, you know, happy Christmas, have a good time. You know, hope you guys have a good time with your families and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't, then hey, you know, we squad gang in here. You know, we chilling. It's all fine. Don't worry. We're just sitting here playing some games, having a good time. You know. All that matters. But ladies and gentlemen, so we have a rumor today, and this rumor comes from Reddit of all places, which is kind of interesting. So usually we don't get too many rumors from Reddit. Usually the rumors do come from like whatchamacallit. Usually they come from 4chan, right? Like 4chan is usually the cesspool of where all these things start. But we have a rumor today which is about Diamond and Pearl Remix. Again, as you guys know, that's like the most likely thing next to happen. Like the two most likely possible things for the next set of games for Pokemon, which will probably come next year, because let's be honest, the Pokemon schedule looks like it's perfectly set up specifically for them to push out another game next year. And whether that game's going to be like a Sword and Shield 2 or like a follow-up Sword and Shield game, or if it's going to be Diamond and Pearl, it's really up in the air. But it seems like Diamond and Pearl is going to be the most likely one. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this one, shall we? Here it is. So this was posted by somebody called Totally Real Leaks, which makes me a little bit worried because his name is very, very on the nose. So yeah, do take it takes with a little bit of grain of salt. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all for entertainment's sake, you know. So don't look at this as some sort of like be-all, end-all truth of life, and you know that what we're going to be getting, because it's all speculation for now, right? And what people say could be real, could be fake. I mean, there were so many rumors that actually predicted literally like Sword and Shield before Sword and Shield came out. It was like so many rumors that just like wildly guessed, right? Like, oh, it's going to be a game called King and Queen, or somebody was like, oh, Sword and Shield, but then nothing else they predicted was correct. So, you know, sometimes the names could get right, but everything else could be false. But also, you got to pay attention to what, like, Masuda and these people are tweeting, because usually they'll tweet some hints. In their, like, tweets, there'll be some hints, but due to Masuda's, you know, with the recent, like, you know, the Pokédex stuff, there might be less tweets from him in general. So, keep that in mind. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this rumor, shall we? So, Diamond and Pearl Remakes leak. Now, during the hype of the new games of these past months, I managed to get my hands on some information about the upcoming games after Sword and Shield, that being the Gen 4 remakes. Too many leaks are currently flooding 4chan right now, and so I'm on Reddit posting this as it is less crowded, which is a fact. You know, it's not like anything strange, it's a literal fact. You know, it is less crowded, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever, because, you know, 4chan during this hype season was crazy. I mean, literally, I think there was one point I was covering about, I think maybe 3 rumors like a day at some point, because there was just so many, and you guys kept wanting to see more videos about it, so I just kept covering it. But yeah, I can agree to that being being a fact with this year's, you know, hype season and rumor season, right? That being said, here's the information I was able to find out about the new games. So okay, let's read through it, shall we? So, Dynomax and Gigantamax will not be returning in the remakes. Now, this is actually something that we already know, because I think even, like, Game Freak themselves, or, like, the Pokemon Company already said that Dynomaxing is something that's unique specifically to the Galar region, so they're not going to be returning it in the future, which I'm happy about, honestly. Dynomaxing is broken, okay? Like, competitively, it is broken, which is why I think Dynomaxing's even been banned to some extent in competitive play. Like, it's literally just not working, okay? Like, it inherently is a broken system. So that I am happy about not returning, because it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like they were talking about Sword and Shield being like balanced games, but instead they ended up being like a balancing hell, where like there's so many broken things and there's like so little like such a few amount of options to work with, right? That it's kind of ludicrous, and it's kind of like hard to balance a game like Pokemon, right? Which to me just seems like, you know, hey, using the excuse of like balance to remove certain Pokemon just doesn't seem realistic when you didn't actually balance the game, because a lot of things are fucking broken. So yeah, but I feel like when it comes to Dynomaxing and Gigantamaxing, they've already established this already, that they're not going to be returning, right? They've already kind of established that, which kind of makes me curious. Like, what will they do then for Diamond and Pearl, right? Like, what will they do? I mean, he talks about here what he says is going to be the thing according to his leak, right? He's going to explain what that thing is going to be, but I'm more curious about, like, what is it genuinely going to be like? You know, what is this new thing going to be like? Because there's going to be something, because, I mean, look at, like, you know, kind of like how the generations have been. There's always kind of like a little bit of a, you know, an extra thing added to them when there's a remake. Like, You know, like Fire Red Leaf Green, I guess, is like the exception to that, right? But like with, you know, Diamond and Pearl, you know, Diamond and Pearl, sorry, not Diamond and Pearl, Heart Gold Soul Silver, there was like extra things added, a bunch of new features and stuff, you know, new things, as well as like Oras included like the previous feature from the game before it, which was X and Y, which was Mega Evolutions, right? It included Megas. So I'm curious, like, what will the thing be with Diamond and Pearl Remix? Like, what could they do there to make it like somewhat of its own unique thing? Will they, you know, will they return Megas? Because they did say in the past, Masuda did say eventually some point when they find like a good opportunity to do it, they will return Mega Evolutions. So is this the time to do that? Is this the perfect opportunity to return Mega Evolutions? I don't know. But he talks about something here. He says that, so Dynomax and Gigantamax will not be returning in these remakes, as it is a phenomenon that is unique to Galar. Now, Z moves will also not be returning for the same reason. Fair enough. Okay, so that seems reasonable. I can see that. Like Z moves again are logical to stay within, you know, Alola, but again, it's just like they were also so trivial, right? In a sense. Same thing with Dynomax. It was such a trivial thing. The reason why Megas were fun to most people, because at the end of the day, we're also kind of trivial when you think about it, right? A lot of people hated them initially, but like when you look at Megas, what was really fun about Megas was that it was actually like a, you know, a new form for a Pokemon, a new, like, you know, a different look, essentially a new evolution, aka Mega Evolution, right? It was a new evolution towards that Pokemon, which is what made it so much more fun, which is why some Megas have stayed as some people's favorites. Like, you know, the Mega Charizards, even though Charizard's hyper popular, were sick, right? I mean, yes, Gigantamax Charizard is also cool, and I guess that's what Gigantamaxing kind of does. It's like this new form, but just like because of the Dynamaxing feature in itself being so broken and kind of weird in a position, like it kind of works in a weird way, right? Which makes it just different, like within play. Whereas Megas were also different in play, you know, like it's just a little bit of a mishmash shit show trying to like figure this all out. But yeah, let's continue. So, Mega Evolution will return, but it now works in a similar way as Dynomax, with only 3 turns of it being active. Now, that I would hate if that is the fact, right? If that is true and that's what they do, I would really despise that, because it just wouldn't really operate this like the same way. Like the fun thing about Megas was that they were permanent, right? During that battle, and then after battle, when they faint or whatever, you know, once they're done, that's when they reverse back to their, you know, their previous evolution, right? But like that, just no, this wouldn't be fun to me. Like I don't know, man. I don't know if I would enjoy that. I like that they were permanent. I can see how people would enjoy the 3-turn thing. Like I can see how some people would enjoy it, but I'm not digging it that much. So I don't know. But also at the same time, it makes it so like you can kind of, I don't know, man. This is a very strange thing. Why would they do that even? Like for Megas, it wouldn't make. I mean, I guess it would make... I don't know, it's a strange thing, because with Dynomax, every Pokemon can Dynomax. So limiting it to 3 turns makes sense, because, you know, you don't want people to find, like, one specific Dynomax that's, like, overpowered, which kind of people are doing. But, like, you know, finding one that's really overpowered, and then using that one to basically, you know, permanently just spam through things, right? Like, that I could see being a problem. But with Megas, I don't know, it feels a little bit different. But, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Either way, Torterra, Infernape, and Polion all get Mega forms, which I would honestly love. Honestly, I'd love that. That would be fantastic. So, Torterra looks like a, Ankylosaurus with a mountain range on its back, okay? That would be sick if that is true, but I do wonder, like, what would their, what would they, like, I mean, what would the, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool, I'm gonna be honest. That actually sounds pretty freaking cool. Infernape gains a golden crown and armor with white face paint. So that actually sounds pretty cool. Kind of, again, like, you know, the whole thing with, like, you know, with Infernape is that it's based on Wukong, you know, like, from, what's it called again? Oh, I forget the name, but it's like very famous tale. But like, either way, so again, I can see that how that would work. And also, Empoleon's flippers turn into a sword and a shield. It also gets a cape. Now that seems a little bit strange. Why would sword and a shield really? I could see them trying to do that as some sort of like, you know, like a little nod, like, haha, tip of the hat, you know? Tip of me fedora, yes? I could see that, but I don't know. Now, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, and Arceus will be getting new forms, which I think would be fantastic, man. I've been waiting for some new forms for these boys. These boys, they need some new forms, okay? They need some love. They need some new forms. They need some shit going for them, you know what I mean? So I can appreciate that. My mans can appreciate that thing, bruv, you know? I can appreciate it. Now, the underground tunnels will make a return, but can't be accessed while your Switch is docked. Now, that would be annoying if that is true, right? If you can't access that area without, you know, I don't know, I wouldn't enjoy that. You're able to find many different types of fossils other than just the Cranidos and Sheldon fossils, but will be split into version exclusives, which I guess would be reasonable, which is what they've, like, not reasonable, but, like, that's what logical, right? Because that's what they've been doing now with Sword and Shield, so I could see that. Now, 360 camera is usable at all time now, except for inside buildings. That would be fantastic. If you could use the 360 camera in all of the games, that would be fantastic. That's like literally the one thing about Sword and Shield that I loved within the wild area, but then literally like just made me hate the game whenever I went out of the wild area into a route and I was like, why can I not press the right stick to turn my camera around? Why am I still stuck in this one position that you forced me into, Game Freak? So, honestly, that would be fantastic if that is true. If this is true, I'm honestly on board for this. This sounds great to me. Sure, the Mega thing with the Dynomax stuff, it could be a little bit iffy, right? But hey, you know, I'm willing to sacrifice, you know, the way Megas usually work for the sake of new Megas, you know, returning, you know, appearing, and also old Megas returning. I'm willing to sacrifice the length of how long Megas are in battle. I'm willing to sacrifice that if, you know, everything else seems to match up. Besides, like, the tunnel thing, which, you know, says that you can only be in handheld, I guess, which would be a little bit annoying, to be honest. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. And if you guys did enjoy it, drop a like down below, ladies and gentlemen. That is all. I personally don't know about this rumor. I mean, the guy's name is literally totally real leak, so I'd probably say this is more on the fake side. But honestly, guys, you never know. I mean, literally, people literally thought that the Ben Affleck leaker, right, that he was fake, but he knew everything about Sword and Shield ahead of time, right, and leaked, like, so much about it. So, hey, I don't know, man. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think about this? What are your thoughts? Do you guys think it's real, fake? Let me know in the comment section. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.